How are you? How you doing?
I am great, actually. As you say, I've stepped away from Twitter, and I am actually embarrassed to say what a an immense change that has been in my life. I mean, it's really we can talk about that, but I was genuinely surprised that it was as much of a problem for me as it was, and I really only recognize that in retrospect. So, I mean, obviously I knew something was off, and I decided to delete my account, but. I'm just amazed at what Twitter has done, not just to me, but to society. I mean, I guess it's a problem of social media more generally, but I think Twitter really is the epicenter of it. And I just think it has, we've all been enrolled in a psychological experiment to which no one really has consented, and the results are not looking good. And it's so yeah, I mean, we can get into that if you want to, but it's I'm great, and it's really been a huge improvement not to be segmenting my life in uh, hours and minutes between checking Twitter, which is really
hmm
what life had become. I mean, it's very strange to say it, but that really is what has happened to so many people.
I understand. And I understand in particular for someone like you who is, I don't know if you call yourself in the center. I think you do. You lean left on some things,
Yeah,
you lean right on some things. You surprise both sides with your takes on various issues. You can't be easily pigeonholed. And for somebody like that, um, it's a it's an even rougher place. I mean, I can kind of relate to
yeah,
this because while mostly I'm leaning right on a lot of issues today, just because I'm big into the culture wars and we've lost our minds. Um, I understand because a lot of the times, the people who follow me from the left, because they know I'm not hard right and I'll give their side a fair shake and they just want facts, right? I deal in facts. They'll get very upset over certain things I'm saying. Or sometimes the right will, because I'm not afraid to criticize figures on the right, whether it's Trump, DeSantis, et cetera. And so I understand, Twitter's one of those places where they just want you to be on their team. And if you're on their team, they'll back you. And if you say something that goes against the team narrative, they get very, very angry and it can be very toxic.
yeah. As you say, if you're in the center, you really do get it from both sides. If you're, I say as much against wokeism as I think virtually anyone on the right, and I say as much against Trumpism as virtually anyone on the left. But if there's any daylight between you and the right and the left on any specific topic, yeah, you're treated like the near enemy, right? It's just it precipitates even more of a vicious and dishonest sort of attack against you. And so I think it is very different being more or less just aligned with one pole, and because then you can really just discount what you're getting from the other side. But I really don't have another side, right? I'm very much in the
Yeah.
center, not because I think the truth is always at the midpoint between two extremes, but because I'm genuinely not a partisan, right? And so I'm calling balls and strikes as I see them. And so for instance, no matter how much I uh, despise Trumpism as a movement, and no matter how much I think Trump is precisely the wrong sort of person to have been put in the Oval Office, I'm not willing to take cheap shots at him. I mean, despite what Trumpists may think I do. But so for instance, when someone takes a clip from a press conference of his that is genuinely misleading, like the fine people clip after
Mm.
Charlottesville, right? That was not what he seemed to say over on the left, right? And could be made to seem to say by just endlessly referencing that clip of him saying there are fine people on both sides, was not in fact what he said in context, right? He was not praising Nazis and anti-Semites in the way he was made to seem. And so that's an unfair attack, and it's the sort of thing that has happened to me, as you referenced. And many of us are just living and dying by clips, but partisans are happy to play that game because they don't really care what their opponents think. They only care what they can be made to seem to think, right? What a tribalist and a partisan wants to do at each moment politically is tar their opponents with the most extreme and however tenuously plausible version of what they can seem to mean, right? And then they just want to hold them to that, no matter how uncharitable that is, no matter how dishonest that is, until the end of time, right? And so I'm not willing to play that game as much as it gets played with me. So then when you decline to do that, you get a tremendous amount of hate from both sides.
Yeah. Well, that's why we can get into the comments about Trump and Hunter Biden, but that's why I thought it was useful. Like, why are people so averse to hearing someone like you who has defended the cops in the midst of the BLM storm against them, spoken out against wokeism, has been an important, really smart, which is a bonus, voice on some of these really important issues that the right in particular cares about? Why do they care so much that you hate Trump? Like, okay, you hate Trump. A lot of people hate Trump. A lot of people love Trump. Like, okay, that I think it's valuable to have somebody like you who's not deranged, who's not just suffering from this sort of leftism that takes over your brain and makes you see everybody on the right is terrible. That's not you. Why is it so upsetting to them to hear you say, I really, really hate him, and here are all the reasons I hate him and don't think he should be near them? Great. It's, to me, a window we should open, we should listen to, we should consider. May not be persuasive, may feel offended in the moment, but that's what the right criticizes the left for doing, being little snowflakes who can't hear another view, right? The right is supposed to be able to hear opposing views, walk away fortified by new opinions or insights that they accept or reject, and move on with their beautiful lives. Dogs are massive parts of our lives, right? They're our family members. They deserve to be treated appropriately. So it is important to prioritize their safety and well-being. One of the easiest ways to do this is by giving your dogs a safe and secure space just for them, like we do with Strudwick and Thunder. They sleep in their crates every night. They love it. They want to go in there. It feels like their little den. And I also know that they're safe. They're not going to get into any food that's bad for them, etc. Let me introduce you to the collapsible dog crate by the American-made company Impact Dog Crates. That's the #1 dog crate for protecting your dog in your home. Built from heavy-duty aluminum, this travel-friendly dog crate can be set up in less than 60 seconds, and it folds down to just 8 inches tall. That makes it easy for travel purposes or if you want to hide it. I know what you're thinking, but a dog crate will be such an eyesore in my home. Not necessarily, and not this dog crate. Not only does the Impact collapsible dog crate come in 5 sizes, one of which can even fit a Great Dane, but you can choose from 6 vibrant colors to match your home interior. Almost nobody else has that. I haven't seen that anywhere else. Thanks to Impact Dog Crates, keeping your dog and your home safe is easier than ever. If you want to provide a safe space for your dog, head on over to impactdogcrates.com and use the code MK for 15% off your crate. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.